Hey there, Blue Mages, Liam here. Welcome back to Blue Academy. It is Moogle Treasure Trove season again, which means it's time to dust off your Blue Mages and get to farming. You may remember that back in March, when they first introduced Undersized and Synced as an option, it was pretty easy to abuse the Blue Mage job and solo farm Tomestones and Aurum Vale. It looks like Square Enix has caught onto our tricks and picked some trickier dungeons this time around, so soloing won't be nearly as fast. That being said, with Blue Mage ingenuity, we're able to cheese the system yet again. Now, like I said, we're not going to be soloing anything because our only options for that are Balser's Wall and a Therochemical Research Facility, both of which are pretty slow for Blue Mage. But what we will be talking about is the Binding Coil of Bahamut, Turn 2, or T2 for short. In order to clear this raid, we need to kill 3 small orbs, each of which removes a buff from the final boss orb, and then we kill the final boss. For this strat, I will recommend using 1 regular tank and then as many Blue Mages as you can bring, but you can get by with as few as 3 Blue Mages. In this video, I'm playing as a Blue Mage instead of a tank, so I'm a bit of a hypocrite, but it actually doesn't really matter that much. The base spells that we need for this strat are Missile, Whistle, Tingle, Moonflute, and Final Sting. If you don't have Missile, level 5 Death can work as well, and it actually is slightly faster, especially if you get unlucky with resists, but as long as you have a death spell of some sort, then you're fine. Alright, here's a quick rundown of our strategy. We run forward, everyone missiles this orb, and it dies. Come down to the left, here's another orb. Also missile that. And come down yet again. Here's the third orb, same deal, hit it with missile. And now we come down to the final orb. So the tank, which is me here, picks it up, and then all of the Blue Mages will just cast Whistle, Tingle, Moonflute, and Final Sting. With 7 Blue Mages, the final orb should just die outright, but what if we don't have 7 Blue Mages? In order to make this strat work, we need some extra damage, so we will pick up Nightbloom, Triple Trident, Matra Magic, and Serponica. And then we will also use this really crappy macro that goes through all of those spells for us and does our Final Sting. So I'll press my macro here on the little orb just so we can see what that looks like before we go. So at this point, we would be using the Final Sting there. It's going to be a Whistle, Swift Cast, and Final Sting. As you can see, it was enough damage just to kill one of the small orbs. So let's see what this actually looks like in practice. The first 3 orbs will always be the same. We just walk through missiling them. But when we get to the final orb, it's very slightly different. Instead, what we do is we just hit the macro and let it run its course. Do note that there will be some AoEs, so that could interrupt spells, so make sure you try to sidestep those as best you can. And the tank will also want to interrupt high voltage, like I do not here, just because the paralysis can interfere with the macro. If you don't have the exact spells that I used for this particular macro, that's fine. Just put on whatever primal spells you have and modify the macro as best you can. Things like Shock Strike, Feather Rain, Eruption, these are all fine to use. Now, the more Blue Mages you have, the more forgiving the process, but I tested this a few times using only 3 Blue Mages, and we pretty consistently got the orb down. I don't actually think we managed to fail, so I think 3 is the minimum, and this will still work. So that's all you really need here, 1 tank and 3 Blue Mages. And there you have it. With loading times and everything, each run should take about 2 minutes for either strat. So that means if you're grinding this out, you'll be getting roughly 90 Tomestones per hour. Not bad, right? As far as I can tell, this will be the most time-efficient way to farm Tomestones, but if anyone has any other suggestions, definitely drop a comment below. As always, thanks for watching, and good luck farming those Ifrit jackets.